Okay. Hi, my name is Marco Spasiewicz. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Evolution, Ecology, and Organismal Biology here at UC Riverside, and I study biodiversity in Riverside County.
Hi, my name is Sahar Sharaf. This is my first year at UCR. I'm major in linguistics, but right now I'm enrolled in a climate change class, and this is a project for end of the quarter.
And my name is Grace Whitekin, and I'm a chemistry major, senior, and I'm also in her environmental class.
Do you think that increased student population has an impact on campus wildlife? If so, and how?
Yeah, I mean, increased student populations will have an impact on wildlife. Part of it is through them getting habituated to humans. And so the more wildlife are around people, the more they get used to them. The more they get used to them, the more there's potential for sort of negative interactions where they get kind of used to people and people get too close and then something happens.
Yeah. Not to mention that we are taking their habitat to those housing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends a little bit on the wildlife as well. Some, like I said, some animals are really adapted to human environments. So coyotes are actually doing great. They've been spreading across the U.S. for the last couple hundred years, even though there's been a lot of effort to eradicate them. Oh. They're found now from Alaska to Colombia, when they were only originally found in the southwest of the United States.
Why were you trying to eradicate them?
Because people don't like them; they think they're pests.
Oh, that
and
is
so
sad.
they kill about 500,000 coyotes a year in the United States.
So if that's the case, then does that mean like UCR has not taken any action to protect the wildlife then?
The wildlife on campus, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But we have the UC Reserve System. And so these are areas of land that are set aside for research, for preserving natural areas. So there's the Box Spring, Mont Reserve, and those areas actually have a fair amount of wildlife in them and are part of the Western Riverside County Multi-Species Habitat Conservation Plan, which is trying to set aside 1 million acres in Western Riverside County for threatened and endangered species, for wildlife, and for plants. So we're part of a larger effort to help conserve a lot of lands in Riverside.
Have you ever seen any changes like during COVID compared to now?
That's a good one.
I personally don't know, but during COVID, people were staying in, so wildlife kind of went more places. Spread out a little bit more, right? There were less incidents of wildlife being hit by cars, so people were driving less. And so there was a little bit of wildlife kind of spreading out a little bit more than they...
Probably they felt less threatened.
Yeah, and it depends again on the species. Every species has a different tolerance to humans. Yeah. So like bobcats and mountain lions really don't like human areas so much, whereas coyotes, raccoons do really well in human environments.
Believe it or not, college students, a lot of them, they do litter at the campus, and how does that affect the wildlife also?
I mean, so a lot of animals, especially birds, will get litter. So like crows in particular will eat a lot of the trash. Raccoons get in the garbage cans a lot. And they're going for food, but they'll eat a lot of the plastic and other things in there if there's food on it. But litter in general has a bad effect on wildlife. And introducing more plastic into the environment is always bad. It can accumulate in sort of the microbes that get eaten by other things and then sort of accumulate up the food chain.
So another question is not here.
Yeah.
Like how bad is the air quality affecting the animals? We know that how bad it's affecting the humans, but we need to know how bad it's affecting animals in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we know. No one's, I don't think, really studied the effects of smoke on a lot of our wildlife species, but I would imagine it has the same negative effects on us, or on them, as it does on us. A lot of them, they don't have to go to work. They can move to some degree. Some of the larger animals, right? So mountain lions have pretty large ranges, and they can kind of go away. The other ones have pretty small ranges, so they're kind of stuck. So they can't really go too far, and so they kind of have to deal with it.
I'm gonna add another question too.
Sure.
So we learned in class that like if we keep going this this trajectory with how we're using our gasoline, our non-renewable gas and energy sources, I heard that if we're gonna have a point in 50 years or was it 50 years, that we're going to have 6-month long summers.
Mm.
In 100 years, we're going to have 9-month long summers. How is that going to affect wildlife?
Depends on the wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot with a lot of species. They're moving.
Yeah.
So they're moving further north to colder environments.
Like urchins. Sea urchins.
Sea urchins, but a lot of mammals are moving north or moving up mountains.
And would that be like detrimental to like the environment too? Because
I mean, so the environment will change
Uh-huh.
and they'll kind of move with it
Yeah.
for some of them, but some species can't move.
okay.
And so a good example is the American pika. It lives at the tops of mountains,
Yeah.
currently in the Sierra Nevadas,
Uh-huh.
and it can't go any higher
Yeah.
to escape climate change because it's already at the top.
Oh.
And so there's a lot of risk of them going extinct because of this. So in general, animals have kind of a few ways of dealing with this. They
Yeah.
can move, they
Yeah.
can migrate and go to somewhere else. They can adapt,
Mhm.
right? So that means they evolve,
Okay.
but they have to have pretty short generation times, right? So long-lived things aren't going to be able to evolve in time because it takes them too long to have babies,
Uh-huh.
right? So things that live like a year or two might be able to do that.
Like flies and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
even some rodents and small
Yeah.
things like that might be able to adapt.
But then humans then are included in the long.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then
That's what I was gonna ask another question, like how much or how bad the humans affected on the wildlife, to be honest with you, more than the climate change,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean so habitat loss is a bigger threat to
Habitat
wildlife
loss,
than
yes,
climate
that's
change.
number one.
Generally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
It
thought
varies a
about
little bit from species to species. There's
Yes.
some that are more sensitive to climate change. Like amphibians are doing really poorly,
Mhm.
and it's because of a fungus that's moving around due to climate change.
Mhm.
But as far as like our mammals, our wildlife, it's really habitat loss
When
that's
you,
having a big
when you
impact
say
on them.
habitat loss, what kind of ways are they losing their habitats?
I mean, it's
Constructions.
yeah, I mean it's usually human modification. It's
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
construction; it's conversion of
The
forests to
warehouses,
agriculture.
yeah.
Clear cut logging, building warehouses, building houses, all those things.
And this is something that you like constantly see as like happening and not.
Yeah, I mean, especially out here with all the warehouses coming
Yeah.
in, right? There's a lot of habitat loss, but that multi-species habitat conservation plan is
Yeah.
trying to protect some of the land.
Okay.
It's a great effort to try to conserve. They're shooting for a million acres, which is
What are ways that like the student body could actually try to help?
the
With the-
number one thing they can do is vote.
Okay.
Is
Right? Vote.
Yeah.
Vote, yeah.
Vote for
Yeah.
not just president, but like the county supervisors.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
local positions are really important.
Okay.
They're the
Yeah.
ones that are authorizing the warehouses and the
Mhm.
Yeah.
development.
We have a
And
lot
so
of
voting for
warehouses,
mayors
yes.
and county supervisors, city council, those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they're really important elections that have a direct impact here in Riverside.
Okay.